Today's class is going to be a mindfulness class. So just lift the toes and just place the toes down. Lift and roll the shoulders. Are you all right there, Julia? Because I can only partially see you. Breathing in, turn the head to the left. And breathing out, turn the head to the right. And just once more to each side, into the left. And then out to the right. And come back to the centre. And then lift and roll the shoulders again. And breathing in, raise the right arm. Turn the arm inwards to face the ear. And lean over to the left, chin to chest. Use your left hand to support your weight. Breathing in, come up to the centre as you stretch up. And breathing out, lower the right arm. And then breathing in, raise the left arm, stretch. Breathing out, come to the right, chin to chest. So that you're between two panes of glass in your imagination. Breathing in, raise up, and breathing out, lower the left arm. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then just feet slightly apart as you sway from side to side. And you can lift the back heel if you need to. And then start to gradually slow the movement down. And come to lift the shoulders again. Soften the knees as you circle the arms up. Clasp and reverse. And then once more to one side. Breathing in, come to the centre. And come to the other side. Come to the centre. Breathing out, turn to one side. Come to the centre. And breathing out, turn to the other side. And then come to the centre. Test your balance by lifting the heels. You're all much better on me. And then lower the heels. Lower the arms. Release the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands on the waist, and just bend the knees and feel the lower abdominal muscles engage to support the bend. And then breathing in, come back up to standing. Release the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders, and this opens the shoulders, getting energy into the head. Clasp the hands behind you, just opening the shoulders, heads of the shoulders. And then breathing out, turn to the left, come to the centre, turn to the right, come to the centre, and optionally you can step a little bit wider apart. This is optional, to bend forward, let the head drop and arms up behind you as if someone's just lightly holding your hands. And then lower the hands, press the feet into the ground, bend the knees and roll up. Standing, release the hands, and just shake the hands out. And then a mind-brain coordination, which we've done before. Raise the right arm up and circle the wrists one way. And then circle the wrists the other way. And then the third part is optional because I can't do it, which is circling one arm the other way and the wrist the opposite way. So you're, I just can't do it. It's just an interesting brain thing, and then just release the hand. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then raise the other arm and just circle one way. It's all about the brain patterns. And then the other way. And then the third one is optional. I think you keep one arm going. I just go wrong. It's just, yeah, coordination. Ugh. Anyway, just release, back down, lift and roll the shoulders. And then come to a breath work, a moving breath work, breathing in, hands out and back. Palms down and away. Back and up and lower. Palms out as you gather in. And then palms away. Breathing in. And then breathing out. And then circle the arms up, stretch out, and circle the arms down. And again, circle the wrists up. And circle down. Lift and roll the shoulders back. And then we come to half salute to the sun. Hands together at the heart centre. Soften the knees as you circle the arms up. Either look ahead or look up, your choice. Hands down through the centre. Hands onto the shins, half lift. Lengthening from the tailbone to the top of the head. Breathe out, soften in. Breathing in, half lift. And stay here as you breathe out. Breathing in, soften the knees. Press the feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra. Come to standing. Hands up. And then lower the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. Hands together at the heart centre. Soften the knees. Stretch up. Palms together at the heart centre, come through. Hands onto the shins. Half lift. Breathing out, breath in. Half lift again. Stay here as you breathe out. Breathe in, press the feet down and roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. Stretch up. And then breathing out. Lower hands. Just lift and roll the shoulders. And then we're going to come to start class, the mindfulness class. Come to lying on the mat. I seem to got candles everywhere, so just make sure I don't burn myself, which is quite possible. And come to, we're not going to stay with the legs out for very long, but just come to, if you want to keep your knees bent for the back, that's fine too. So come to lying, and then extend both heels so that both feet are up to the ceiling, and then both feet away. And again, toes up, and toes away. And then start to circle the ankles in one direction. We're just beginning to wake the feet up and boost circulation. And then circle the ankles in the opposite direction. And then keep your right leg where it is and hug your left knee into the chest. So you can then just start to circle the left knee while you're still holding it. And your circles can be small or they can be larger. And if you really feel that you want to rotate your leg in the hip socket, you can actually open your left leg to the side and place your right hand on your right hip bone. I prefer to hold the leg with both hands. And then reverse that circle. So you're getting a full rotational movement. If we walk a lot, anything that we do, we often don't put the hips through the full movement, and that's where the muscles then can contract and just slightly pull out of alignment, or in fact an arthritis can start to accumulate in that part of the joint that's not being moved. And just very gently hug the left knee into the chest and roll the entire body, still hugging the left knee in, over to the right. Place your left foot on the upper right thigh. Your knee's not going to go down to the ground particularly. And just place your left hand on your left waist. Your right hand can hold the knee, or your right hand can hold along the outer left thigh. Extend your right foot so that your muscles in the right leg are engaging, and then just release and relax if you want to. And then with your open left arm, left elbows out, try and, this might be difficult, place the shoulder on the ground so that you really are opening the left shoulder. If you can do that easily and you've got the space, you can open the left arm out to the left along the floor. A straight line, that really does pull onto the left arm. Just taking a couple of breaths here, in and out. And then when you're ready, roll back. You might like to bend both knees, both feet on the ground, because your back will have twisted, just to lift up and just straighten out your back. And then lengthen the left leg along the floor and hug the right knee into the chest. And just very gently circle the right knee a few times in one direction, choosing how much you want to circle the knee. And then very gently circle the knee in the opposite direction. And then just roll the entire body over to the left. You might want to use your right elbow just to help you. Right foot is on the left leg, maybe thigh. You might bring your knee totally to the ground. You might not. Right hand on the waist, really again to open out the right shoulder. You can look up or to the side. Extend the left heel so that you're really stretching, and then you can release optionally into that turn. Any rotation is aligning for the spine. We're doing both sides here. Breathing in and out. And then when you're ready, just roll once more onto the back. You might want to realign your spine by placing both feet on the ground. Lift and just reset the spine. Hands, palms down, maybe feet a little bit wider to the edge of the mat, and just very gently sway the knees from side to side. and your hip will lift potentially slightly off the ground as you sway your knees to one side, the opposite hip might just lift. And you might like to join in with the head, so traditionally you would move your head away from the direction of the knees to get a twist at the base and the top of the spine, but if you find that your head is going in the direction of your knees, that's absolutely fine too. It's meant to be an enjoyable circling from side to side. So this is a somatic movement which connects into the sensory or the feeling aspect of the movement and is believed to bypass the brain thinking about it. And it follows that kind of oscillating shape or spiral that we get in nature, subtly moving. And then bring your knees to the centre. Perhaps bring your feet back to hip width apart. And then hug one knee and the other knee into the chest. Maybe widen the knees to be comfortable and just gently rock from side to side. And again, as you can rock a little bit, or you can rock right down to the side. Going across the back of the head. And then we talked about hamstrings yesterday. So hugging the knees into the chest. Support the right leg underneath just to let the right foot come to the ground. You're still holding the left knee in towards you. Drop your hands to the back of your left thigh. I'm clasping my hands. And then very gently raise the left leg up to the ceiling and extend the left heel. Just feel that stretch at the back of the leg. And then you can walk your hands up the back of the leg, bringing the left leg towards you a little bit. And stop where you naturally might stop. And then you've got a choice here to engage the abdominal muscles, to either drop hands, so perhaps your right hand behind the head and back of the neck, and breathing out, lift the head up towards the left leg, looking up towards your big left toe, and then just release the head back and to the ground. And you can do that again, or if you feel you really want to engage your core and you feel quite strong, you can hold the left leg with both hands and lift up. It's a stronger lift. And then just release the head back down to the ground. And then bend the left knee into the chest and open the left knee to the left, placing the left ankle on top of the right leg, palms down. And just very gently sway the knees from side to side, which will mean that you'll just open up slightly. You'll just lift the hips off the ground slightly. And come to the centre, hug the left knee into the chest, and then just place the left foot onto the ground. Hands, palms down. Just sway the knees gently from side to side. A couple of times. And then come to leave the left foot where it is and hug the right knee into the chest. Just circle a couple of times, hugging the right knee into the chest. One way, and then the other way. And then drop your hands to up behind your right thigh and extend your right leg up towards the ceiling and extend your right heel and just feel that stretch along the back of the right leg. Very good for sciatica as well, it's just creating space here. And then begin to walk the hands up the back of the right leg, stopping where that's enough for you. And then drop a hand behind your head, and as you breathe out, lift your head, which is supported by your hand and your neck supported, up toward your right leg. It can be a little bit or lifting up a lot.
You'll feel your abdominal muscles engage, and then just release back down to the earth. And you can either do that again, or if again you want to increase your core focus, then hold your right leg in both hands and lift your head up. You can bend your elbows and just release the head back down. Then bend your right leg, and then open your right leg to the right and place your right ankle on top of your left leg. Palms, hands down. So you just, again, gently sway the knees from side to side. And then come back to the centre of the knees. Hug the right knee into the chest, and then hug the left knee in to join it. Both knees are into the chest, and just gently rock from side to side. And then come back to the centre, and when you next breathe in, raise your left leg up to the ceiling as you extend your left arm up and behind you. You can keep it bent at the elbow, extend the left heel, and then as you breathe out, return, so hugging the left knee back into the chest again. Just slightly rock from side to side, easing out the lower back. And then come to the centre. And as you next breathe in, raise the right leg up behind you and the right arm. Chin comes to the chest just to ease out any tension at the back of the neck. And when you next breathe out, hug the right knee into the chest. And just gently rock from side to side. And then again, left side, your own breath pattern now. Stretching up, you can linger for an in and out breath if you've got your left leg extended and your left arm. Hugging in your left knee when you're ready, perhaps rocking from side to side. And then transfer to the right side, right leg up behind you, stretch up. Just check that your chin, it should naturally go down to your chest, easing out any tension. And then hugging the right knee back into the chest. And you've got both knees hugged into the chest. And think of your both knees as one unit as you circle both knees in one direction. And it will bring the focus of the circle that you're making to the lower back. Deeply satisfying. You've got lower back issues. It almost irons out the lower back for you. And then very gently circle both knees in the opposite direction. And then just very gently drop your hands to below your thighs to support the legs, and place one foot down and then the other. So your feet are on the ground, they're hip width apart, and your knees are upright, up towards the ceiling, and palms down. We're going to look at a couple of tilts. So flattening the back as if you're going to lift your bottom, and then just rolling the tailbone down towards the floor, so there's a little gap that appears under your lower back. And a couple of times to your own breath pattern. And then come to neutral. And then half bridge, press your feet down. Lift your bottom a little bit or a lot, up to you. And then just with your elbows bent, just raise them above your head. If you've got space to stretch out, you can do. Your chin goes down to your chest, or you can keep your elbows bent. Stay here, up for an in and an out breath. Breathe in again. And as you breathe out, lower your back to the ground, almost vertebra by vertebra. Lower your arms. And then to counteract that, just hug the knees into the chest. And just rock from side to side. And then we're going to think about finally leaving our position lying on the mat. And up to you, you can roll to the side and come up. Or you can have your hands underneath your thighs and either slightly rock backwards and forwards or a lot backwards and forwards. We'll come up to a seated position. And then coming onto the hands and knees. Hands are shoulder width apart, knees are hip width apart. Just sway the bottom from side to side. And then some very simple cat-cows, dipping the back, looking either up or along the mat, depending on your neck capacity. And then breathing out, rounding the back, chin to chest. And a couple more cat-cows in your own breath pattern. And then when you next round your back, chin to chest, tuck your toes, tummy in, perineum slightly engages, and then come to a downward dog. So keep your knees bent, lengthen your back, and then begin to straighten your legs. And at this point, you feel you can widen your feet to beyond hip width apart, and you can bring your feet slightly closer to your hands. And then just slightly bend one knee and the other, almost like walking the dog. And you can sway your hips from side to side. And then extend both legs. Your heels don't have to touch the ground, just into your dog. Check that your thumb and second finger are engaged into the mat and that your inner elbows are facing one another. That secures your arms in your shoulder sockets and make sure that your alignment is strong. And then just bend your knees and walk your feet to your hands and your hands to your feet, keeping your knees bent. Maybe hold your elbows, sway slightly from side to side. And then drop your hands and start to roll up vertebra by vertebra to standing. When you're upright, lift and roll your shoulders. And you can stay where you are. And I'm just turning to, you can perhaps see me all facing forward. So come to step your right foot forward. If your balance is wobbly, put your right foot out slightly to the edge of the mat. Your back foot, again comfortable, it might want to come out a little bit, just feel that you're comfortable. And then with your right hand, make a very light fist. And you're going to follow with your eyes, your thumb movement. So breathing in, circle forward. Your eyes are following your thumb. So this becomes a mindfulness exercise because when you lift your eyes disconnect from the stress centres of the brain. It becomes a shoulder exercise, and if your shoulders are stiff, then bend your elbow. And it becomes a neck exercise. And did I say an eye exercise? I can't remember. And because our eyes don't often go through a full movement. And then when you're ready, just circle in the opposite direction. Again, bend your elbow if you need to for that. And then come to face the front. And we'll do a modified Warrior One, which is very good for your strength. And not that we're at osteoporosis, but
very good for that too. So breathing in, just cactus arms, you're going into your shoulders, and then breathing out, straighten your front leg a little bit and lower your arms. And then we can do that again, or if you feel that you're able to, you can go a little bit higher, and as high as you want to, a little bit, or really straight up, palms together. You can look forward, or you can look up. And then bring your head back to centre, and then lower your arms and straighten your leg. Lift and roll your shoulders, and step your right foot back. Just sway slightly from side to side. And then come back to the centre, lift and roll the shoulders, and then stepping the left foot forward. Again, feel that you can bring your left foot out to the edge, right foot slightly out to secure you, and make a light fist with your left hand. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Actually, anyway, I won't go, anyway, just following it, just coming forward slightly. We're going quite slowly to give the eyes time to adjust, but also it saves kind of any shoulder injury. So the very fast version of this would be when if people are throwing a cricket ball, bowling, and I know Phil injured his shoulder from doing it too fast without mindfulness. So this is very unlikely to cause any damage if you're going so slowly. And then when you're ready, reverse it. So it's coming forward. And then finish your circle. Release your hands. And then come to soften the front knee as you come to cactus arms. Just opening here. And lower them as you breathe out. And then you can either come to cactus arms again, or go a little bit further to where it's good for you. Looking either forward or up. Your choice. And breathing out, just lower the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders, and step the left foot back. And then just come to step out a little bit wider. Again, feel at any point that you can adjust your stance by bringing the feet slightly wider or slightly closer together. And then turn your left foot slightly in and your right foot out. If you were to look down, you could draw a line from the front of the back heel to intersect the middle of your back left arch as a general guide. Arms out, and then bring the left palm to join the right palm. Draw an imaginary bow by bending the left elbow, bringing it back to the chest. Hold the hand there. Breathe in, raise the right hand up to the ceiling and look up to your thumb. And then open both arms outward. Breathing out, bring your left palm to your right palm. Draw your imaginary bow. Raise your right arm up, look at the thumb. And then open your arms outwards. Last time, left palm to right palm. Draw your imaginary bow, opening across the chest, very good for the heart here. Lift your hands up, open the hands out, and then just drop your hands. Bring your right foot in, lift and roll your shoulders, And then turn to the other side, so your right foot comes in, your left foot goes out. Open your hands in a warrior two movement, and then it's the right palm to the left palm. Draw your bow with your right arm. Keep the right hand there at the chest, breathing in. Raise your left palm, looking up at your left thumb. And then open both arms. And then back to the beginning, right hand to left as you draw your bow. Bend the right elbow. Draw your bow. Left hand up, look at your left thumb. And then open again. Lost count, so make this next one the last one, palm to palm. Draw your bow. Left palm up. Open. Drop your hands. Bring your left foot in. Slide your hands as you bend your knees down. Just place your fingers to the inside of your thighs. Look forward and just sway gently from side to side. If you want a Wim Hof moment, you come to the centre, breathe in, and as you breathe out, you can breathe out audibly through your mouth, through your nose, breathe out and pull your tummy and abdominal muscles up, hold your breath out for as long as you can, and then when you really need to breathe in, just release everything, breathe in. And then just gradually come to bend your knees and come up to standing. And bringing your feet back in. And then raise your arms up, thumbs together. This is a Vata pacifier. Vata is one of the doshas, the air doshas. It links to pain. So if you're in pain anywhere, it's because your Vata air element has gone slightly out of kilter, so this pacifies that.
It's raining.
Oh, is it?
It's on you.
It's starting to, well, I don't know if people mind if they're getting wet shoes, but it's starting to rain.
I can't believe that.
Yes.
And then just come to the centre, lower the hands, lift and roll the shoulders. Would you like me to bring the people's shoes in as they...
I don't know, it's not much. Mine's fine.
Mine's fine.
Don't worry about mine.
What do you do? Mine actually, I'm lagging. Yes. It's only, well, it is definitely rain, isn't it? Yes, it's not just a little bit. I'm not worried about those.
You know, I thought it's totally unexpected. You're very welcome to come in, Julia. I'm not expecting you to completely come here and get wet. And then just come to lift and roll the shoulders, hands on the waist, and let's just test our balance again by lifting the heels. There's a mat out for you, Julia, but I don't know.
I think it might be stopping.
Oh, okay, and then just lower the heels, hands to the heart centre, that lifts you up. Just take a moment. And for the brain, focusing the brain, Hakini Mudra, just tips of the fingers together and look at them. It brings focus and thinking, and then just release. And then we're going to come down to the knees in a temporary child's pose. But this is supported child, so knees wide apart, bottom towards the heels. They don't have to come right to the heels. Make fists with your hands and rest your forehead on your fists. So this is activating the third eye, the pineal, pituitary area, but it's calming for the nervous system as well. Your chin's to your chest, back of the neck is long, chin to the chest activates the vagus nerve, by the way, which is anti-inflammatory. Your back's curled or just Just encouraging the breath into the back. And if you've got a headache, then any kind of child's pose variant, because that keeps the blood in the head, it's very helpful for headaches. But we're not going to keep here or stay here for particularly long. And then just very, very gently press the hands down to come up. Come to seated and come to Baddha, so feet together. So Sue were here, she did have expertise on what needs to be done, but it's very good for the hip health. So we talked about menopause today. Doing this. So anything on opening this area, whether you're lying down, your legs are up, whatever is helpful for blood flow. So just holding above the ankles. You can bounce your knees a little bit just to leave to get the energy flowing. And then just lead with the chest, slightly come forward. You can perhaps move your thumbs down and massage your inner soles of the feet. So again, if Sue were here, she would tell you that the ankles, both inner and outer ankles, if you massage those, are the lower lymphatic system. And we're focusing on the lower lymphatic system, which is part of your immune system, by opening the hips. And the upper lymphatic system, if you're interested, are between the toes. And that's also under the arms. That's the respiratory, goes to the respiratory centre. And then just sitting up, hands underneath the thighs, and we're going to, that's if you're running out of room, have your thighs open, legs open, toes up, heels extended, and again feel the activation of the legs, particularly the inner leg. You can tend to turn off the muscles. Just touch the hands to either side of you to lift you up. Tummy in, lead with your chest, perineum in, as you then just slide the hands down the legs, forward bend. You don't have to go very far. You can lift with the chest, extend, and then just release back down again. If you've got long arms, you might naturally hold your big toes, but if you haven't got long arms, then just whatever works for you. Being comfortable. So again, this is calming for the nervous system. If you are at your big toes, the big toe represents the head. Just run your thumbs over the top of the foot. That's again for the head. Underneath the toes, where the toes join the feet, is rubbing there. If you can get there, is where the so it's the lung meridian points. So it's kind of opening for the lungs. And then just very, very gently slide the hands up. Just massage around the knees. The whole knee is a marble point. And the knee, of course, blood flows through the knee to get to the ankle, and then just kind of forget about the knee. And then just bend the knees and just bring the feet in. And then if you'd like to come to lying however you would like to for a moment or two. And I'm just going to bring our attention to the chakra points, and then just have the koshis, which connect into the elements. So the base chakra is the deeper note, and it links to the note of G, so it follows the octave really. Links to the earth element, the root chakra, and our sense of security and safety. Different systems have different colours, but the most popularised colour follows the rainbow, so this would be red. And it's at the base, almost like the perineum area. Then just move your mind a little bit higher along the spine, between the base and the navel, and it's just slightly further up. It's in front of the spine, at the sacral level. And the colour here would be orange in this colour system. It links to the element of water, and the flow of life. It links to the kidneys, and the K27 points up at the shoulders, linked to, well, kidneys are, I believe in Chinese medicine, linked to life vitality. They also link into the adrenal glands sitting above the kidneys, which links into stress. And the adrenal glands, funnily enough, are linked to, energetically I should say, are linked to the thyroid. So exhausted adrenals can lead to thyroid issues like autoimmune issues, so water's very important. And then just bring your attention slightly further up, almost behind the navel, and you're linking into something called the Manipura chakra. And it's the colour yellow in this system, and the digestive enzymes, and it's how we transform things, not just food, but how things come into, how we transform experiences in our life, how we handle life. And then just coming a little bit further up, and this is behind the heart, which crosses over, we begin to leave the physical, though it's very much physical, and almost go into the mental. So in yoga, the heart has a lot of extra emphasis on it. And the element here is air. And it connects to our hands, the heart, imagine from the hands to the heart, and therefore connects into the air and the sense of touch. The colour here in this system would be green or pink. Too much energy here can lead to ego issues, burnout, anger, aggression, and too little can lead to timidity, fear, sort of lack of compassion as well. That can be the aggressive aspect. And then the next three chakras, from the throat upwards, and the next one is the throat, connecting to the element of ether. So that we're now at the throat. And that connects into our communication, our Udana energy, our upward Udana energy, our speech patterns. And if this is blocked and doesn't go into the brain, the Eastern belief anyway is that the dementias and Parkinson's can be as a result of disease of the lack of energy or flow into the brain. And then just bring your attention to your third eye. So that we've gone up to note B. It's again ether. And the third eye connects into intuition, it connects into knowledge, it connects on the glandular system to pineal and pituitary, so part of our metabolic control.
very last one at the top of the head is the Saratara, that's the hand of the head. And this is a note A, it connects us to the rest of the world.
Catch that last thing you said.
So this is the note is the A. It connects us to the crown of the head, and it connects us to everybody else. The collective consciousness. So it connects us to the world. So if you in temples, the note to get your attention will either be an A or a B, and this is the A. And generally one note will appeal to you more than the other. So it doesn't matter in a sound bath, it doesn't matter because you get all the notes. And we're going to reiterate that sound by coming into the koshis. So I've mentioned as we went along singing bowls that we were going through various elements. And the koshis connect into the elements. So I'm going to start with hopefully Terra, which is the earth element. The next one from Terra is the water element. And then following from water, you've got the fire element. And then from fire, you've got the air element, which incorporates ether as well. And then sunrise, air and water go nicely together. Just gradually start to think that you can stay where you are, but become, before we end the class, to have a thought for the day for yourself or someone close to you. Have that thought a couple of times, and then let that thought go, and come to finish the class either by staying where you are, or if you want to make movement, come to a seated position. And please do, but as I said, you're very welcome to stay where you are. then coming to just have the hands at the forehead, kind thoughts, at the lips, kind words, and at the heart, kind deeds.